Okay. Now, welcome to you all in this online class. Dear student, today we have to discuss about the rise of small kingdoms in North India. In class 6, you have studied the last ruler, great ruler of India, or especially of ancient India, was Harshvardhana. Okay, was Harshvardhana. After his rule, many small kingdoms emerged in India. Since the time our medieval period in Indian history begins, we have to discuss about all the developments or about many developments that occurred after the death of Harshvardhana. It is well known fact the last great Hindu ruler of ancient India was Harshvardhana, or he was the last great ruler. After his death, many small kingdoms began to emerge because after the death of Harshvardhana, the large and vast empire disintegrated, divided, broken into many parts and destroyed. I mean, the existence of the empire setup of Harshvardhana lost away. In its place, many small kingdoms began to emerge. Actually, during this period, there was pitiable condition, very poor condition was. I mean, in the condition of India was very miserable, very poor. Why did the empire set up by Harshvardhana disintegrated or declined? There were many regions, but two regions were the main regions. There were two main regions. The weak economic condition, I mean miserable economic condition, and there was not a very good and strong administration there. So there were two main regions of the disintegration of Harshvardhana Empire, that were the miserable economic condition and lack of proper administration led by the weak successor coming rulers after the death of Harshvardhana. And it is why this period is known as the period of political instability. I mean, there was no any ruler who ruled India, North India, for a long years, for many years. Many rulers came and went, and in this way there was the different phase of political scenario. There was not political stability there, because in this period three powerful kingdoms emerged in North India. They were Pratihara, Rashtrakuta, and Palas. These three kingdoms emerged, and they used to fight against each other, struggle against each other to get control over Kannauj. So their infighting also brought political instability in first phase, and the many rulers who ruled India after the disintegration of Harshvardhana ruler became the main reason of political instability. 2-3 things you have learned. Who was the last great ruler of ancient India? Second, why did Harshvardhana Empire disintegrate, decline, ended? 2. Third, who were the three powers that rose in North India after Harshvardhana rule. Fourth, you have learned the meaning of the age of three empires. Age of three empire means the period when three empires like Pratihara, Rashtrakuta and Pala emerged between 750 CE to 1000 CE is known as the age of three empires. Now, if anyone asks you, give the meaning of three empire, age of three empire, you have to say the age of three empire means the period between 750 CE to 1000 CE. Three rulers, three empires emerged in North India. They were the Rashtrakuta, the Pratihara and the Palas. And their age is known as the age of three empire. Okay? Now you should learn in which part of India Rashtrakuta emerged as a powerful ruling hand, in which part Palas and Pratihara emerged. I will show you, I am showing the map here, I am sharing the screen, it is reflected. You see, Pratiharas are in Avanti, I mean southern Rajasthan and Gujarat. Next is Rashtrakuta, who took over the control north part of Deccan. I mean Rashtrakuta Empire is included with Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra and Karnataka. And third one is in eastern part of India, Pala, basically Bengal and Bihar region. In your book also the map is given clearly. It is, area is leveled, name of the empire is written, you can see it very clearly. In this way, these three main kingdoms emerged and fought against each other continuously. They were engaged in wars, right? And were successful in providing stable administration. I mean, no doubt, they gave the stable government, constant government, a very good administration. They did a lot of work for the progress of art and literature, craft, architecture, etc. But lastly, their rule proved very harmful for their struggle, their conflict proved very harmful for them, because due to this continuous wars among themselves, they lost their power and other kingdoms emerged like Chalukyas, Pallavas and etc. So in this way, this is the essence of this topic, the three powers rose, about which we have to study one by one. Now I am going to discuss first one, Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakuta established the most powerful empire in North Deccan in 753, right? You should also learn one thing before studying it. You have just now studied about the age of three empires. Actually, one term is also used for them, and that is called tripartite struggle, about which you will read after some topics, no? After a few topics. But here it will be better to understand, because just now you have learned three powers emerged. They were Pratihara, Pala, Rashtrakutas. Actually, their infighting is known as tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle means the struggle of three parties, three empires, three dynasties. They were Rashtrakuta, Pala and Pratihara. So you can express the view regarding the tripartite struggle in this way. The tripartite struggle was the struggle in fighting among three powers. They were Rashtrakuta, Pratihara, and Palas. This infighting took place between 750 to 1000 CE. They fought for controlling Kannauj because they wanted to set up their supremacy. That is why they fought against each other. This is called tripartite struggle. I think it is clear. If you have any problem, you can ask the question. Now, next is three political powers rose in India and fought, and actually they later on brought the political instability also. The fighting among themselves were known as the tripartite struggle. No doubt you have learned. Just now you have also learned about the area where they ruled. And now let me to discuss about the Rashtrakuta. Some important topics are here. Who were Rashtrakutas? Who was the founder of Rashtrakuta Empire? Who were the most important rulers of the empire? What did they do for the people of their empire? Or what were the basic features of them? So one by one, I am going to discuss. Now, one of the most important political power that emerged after the decline of Harsha rule in North India was Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakuta Empire was set up in North Deccan. It was set up, established in 753 CE by a very important ruler named Danti Durga. Right? That is called Danti Durga. In English, you have to pronunciate it Danti Durga. So in this way, Danti Durga was the founder of Rashtrakuta dynasty. He extended his power and he ruled in an area that was included with Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. The most important ruler of this kingdom were Govinda III and Amogh Varsha, who ruled India or North India or this area between 814 to 880 CE. There were some specialties of them. There are some main features. Main qualities of them. They were great warriors, fighters, fighters. They were great lovers of art. Here art means art and architecture, writing, literature, architecture, painting, sculpture. These are called art. They were great lover means they gave full support for all-round development of this art. And they were scholar also, learned people also. Second, they took some title to show their power as a king or greater king. These titles were Chakravartin, Maharaja Dhiraj, Param Bhattarak. Actually, these were the titles which were taken by Rashtrakuta ruler in those days to show their power. Right? Next feature is what? They had organized very large army, very huge army, very big army was organized by them to control other areas as well as to set up peace and prosperity in their own area, in their empire. Now, they encouraged trade to bring prosperity and happiness. Internal as well as external trade was set up. They exported and imported materials and got advantages, benefits, profit. And it was one of the main source of their income also. As far as matter is concerned, about their religious view, they followed basically Jainism. But they also gave full support, patronage to other religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, etc. Their development proved that their rule was the bridge between the North India and South India. Now next is, it is said that they were the great patrons. Patron means one who take all cares by providing money and material for the development of something. They were the great caretakers, patrons of art and learning. Religious literatures were also written. Many temples were built in those periods. Architecture was developed. Rock-cut temples were built at Ellora, that is related with Hindu, Buddhist and Jain sect, community. I have already said that they were the great scholars. One of his ruler, Amogha Varsha, was a great scholar and lover of Sanskrit. His famous book, a book is written by him, and that is Kaviraga Marga. Name Kaviraga Marga. Kaviraga Marga. It is written in Sanskrit and written by Amogha Varsha. Now, this is the sufficient facts for Rashtrakutas. Once I repeat, right, what are the main features and who were the rulers under Rashtrakutas. Some important facts must be learned. For example, when was Rashtrakuta rule established? Yes, clear-cut answer is 753 CE. Who was the most important ruler? Who was the founder of this empire? Very good, Danti Durga. Next is, what are the main features of Rashtrakuta empire or rulers? So now these are, they were great warriors. They developed art and literature because they were the lover of art and architecture. They took some titles like Chakravartin, Maharaja Dhiraj, Param Bhattarak. They had very large army. They developed trade to bring prosperity and happiness. They followed Jainism and gave full support to other religions like Buddhism, Hinduism. Next, rock-cut temples were built at Ellora under this rule. Amogha Varsha was a great scholar and writer who wrote Kaviraga Marg in Kannada poetry. It is a Kannada poetry. And at last, we have to know, when their power decreased, they were defeated by Chalukya, and in 10th century, their rule ended and Chalukya took control over them. Now next, one more point you should learn, that is about Palas. You have well known to this fact that in our country, there were 3 important universities, educational centers of world fame. One of these is Bikramshila University or Bikramshil Bihar. Can you tell me when this Bihar was set up or who was the founder of this university? Really, it was set up under Pala dynasty and Dharmapala was the founder of this university. Now, we are going to discuss about the same dynasty, Pala dynasty. Actually, we have very less information or inefficient information about the period between the death of Harshvardhana and arrival of or emergence of Pala dynasty. But whatever we know or whatever we have the information on that ground, we know that there were many small kingdoms in this period in Bengal who used to fight against each other, struggle against each other. There was political instability there. In the same period, what happened? People elected his ruler. It was the first time in this period when ruler was elected. Otherwise, it was hereditary. I mean, the family members used to select the name for the king from their family members. So one ruler was elected by the people of Bengal, and he was Gopala. It is said Gopala was the first ruler of Pala dynasty, and he is considered the founder of Pala Empire. Here I have used a term Pala Empire. What does it mean? Actually, the empire which was set up, kingdom which was set up of Gopala, after his death, his successor took a title after his name, Pala. Since this title was adopted by all the kings who came after Gopala, so this dynasty or this empire is known as Pala Empire or Pala dynasty. In this way, Gopala was the founder of Pala dynasty. Now, after that, some rulers began to rule India or Bengal. One of the greatest or the greatest ruler of this empire was Dharmapala, who set up Bikramshil Bihar, which is nowadays near Bhagalpur at Kahalgaon. What was Bikramshil Bihar? It was a center of Buddhist education set up in Bihar, where from the foreign countries the student used to come to study. Right? After Dharmapala, one of the famous ruler of Pala dynasty was Devapala. He fought war against his enemy and he extended his empire. He defeated Huns, and in this way he set up a powerful rule in Bengal under Pala dynasty. Now, let me know about the importance or main features of Pala dynasty. Actually, Pala ruled eastern India, especially in Bihar and Bengal, as you are seeing in the map. They followed Buddhism religion. They sent many learned people or scholars to other countries to spread Buddhism. They used to donate or give grants. Here grants means to give something to. They gave grant to Brahmins to build temples and to bear the maintenance cost. They were the patron. What do you mean by patron? A person who supports or take care of art, literature, language, etc. by providing money, safety, security, etc. Patron means a person who gives full support or taking care of art, literature, craft, so and so forth by providing money, security, safety, etc. Now, in this way, this was. Now, I have promised you that I will give you 10 minutes or some minute to discuss, to ask your query. Okay.